Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this May the 10th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. How you doing, man?
What's up? Second Monday. We got through the first one.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Busy. We watched a lot. I watched a lot of softball, and yeah, just busy. I mean, I have another job outside of this, so I work that too.
Yeah.
Just fun, busy.
Well, good.
Morning, Dana.
How are you, man?
Posted the May schedule on the website and on Buffalo Peak's Facebook page if you want to know the May schedule out there. Dana just posted it literally like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago.
Well, it is a gorgeous day, it looks like, for golfing. I mean, just...
Is it?
Know. Well, I don't know.
My goodness.
Man, I don't know. It's just one of those days that's like really pretty.
It feels a little cold still, though.
Well, yeah, but when it's like this in the morning, I don't know, it changes my whole day because it's just fun.
We may as well look at it now. We'll just do that first today since you went straight into the weather. Let's just rock it.
Okay, let's do.
This is the European model showing our next weather system move from the northwest to the southeast. For your Thursday, raininess towards the blues, while the rest of us will just see some scattered showers as we rise those temperatures into the lower 60s for much of us. Quarter towards Meacham into the mid-50s. Warm spot 73 degrees down in Ontario. Heading into the day on Thursday for La Grande, it does look like this. We'll start out mild into the mid-50s at 9 o'clock. And after that point, we could start to see a few sprinkles developing as we rise. Heading into the day on Tuesday, I'm tracking those temperatures topping out into the 50s and 60s. Best chance to see shower activity will be down to the south, where we could see a few thunderstorms pop up. A few sprinkles still will be likely up towards the north. We just won't see as much as we see a mix of clouds and sunshine. Heading into the day on Tuesday for La Grande, it does look like this. We'll start out into the lower 40s at 9 o'clock with more sunshine and cloud cover. And then once we get about to midday, we could see a few sprinkles pop up. Best chance to see a few showers roll through will be mid-afternoon, but at whatever we get, will be light as we rise those temperatures into the mid-50s. Northwesterly winds will be gusting up to 25 miles per hour in spots. Heading into my short-term forecast for the Grand Ronde Rally, tracking a high of 55 for Tuesday. Drop into the lower 30s overnight. We should be mainly, if not all, dry on Wednesday, as we see a decent amount of sunshine, rising those temperatures into the upper 50s.
Hey, yeah. Well, sorry about that first part of it. I realized I was playing the wrong weather clip, and Gabe would be like,
wondering.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, there's no use in playing the weather if it's not the right date.
No.
So, no.
Dana says it's always beautiful at Buffalo Peak. I mean, in his mind, I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah. That's what he does, though. He markets that. So that's, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, so do I. So it is always beautiful there. You're right.
It is always beautiful. That should be a slogan. And it's Buffalo Peak.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't add an S for once. You called me Gibbs the other. VC. For a year, you called me Doddsy.
I didn't for a year. I had at times. Yeah, and it's because I thought your mom's last name was Dobb, not Dodd. Yeah. Clearly.
That's funny. And then Gabe says yesterday in the meeting, yeah, last week you called me Gibbs. I'm going to call him Gibbs forever. It's funny. One of those football players, I was around them, and this old guy was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I play football at EOU, and this kid's a safety on defense. And the old guy looks at him and he goes, you must be the kicker, because he's like a small, So now they all call him Kicker. It's so funny. The whole team, they call him Kicker.
Have you ever met someone, though, and they gave you their name, but for some reason they just looked like their name is Paul, but for some reason they look like they have a different name.
Oh, I've met lots of people like that.
Yeah, and so you continually have to remember, even though I have friends like that. It's like, I know their name, but for some of I don't know what. It's just weird.
You know who gave me my nickname?
Who's that?
I was 12.
Who
Mike
gave it
Mallory.
to you? Really?
Mike Mallory. Yeah.
Oh, because he was your coach.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He just started calling me Doddsy, and it just stuck.
Doddsy.
Yep.
I just did it again, Dobbsy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because for some reason the softball team, and I think it's because Nicole, I've known her for a long time, like 30 plus years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she calls me Dodds. She don't call me Doddsy, and she always has. And now all the softball girls call me that. Like they don't call me Doddsy. So it's like weird. Yeah. They say, like, I'll post something on social media and they'll say, "Thanks, Dodds." And usually it's like, "Thanks, Doddsy," or, like when they repost the story, like all the softball girls just say Dodds because Nicole, that's what Nicole says.
That's weird. Funny. Well, nicknames are kind of funny. So when I was a kid, I had certain people that called me BC. And so, yeah. And then I took a job in Seattle, Washington. This is back in the early 90s. And the guy I was working with, it was a little late 90s. Sorry. The guy I was working with, his name was Brent. My boss was Brent. And so then I said, well, we need a nickname for you. So then we went with BC, and then when Johnny came and you guys were here, and Johnny had always called me BC. I don't know why. It's always just funny. It was a nickname was resurrected, and nicknames are kind of a funny thing. They just happen.
Jenny says she lost a client once because she kept calling her Donna, but her name was Susan.
Yeah.
Dude, I do that all the time. I'm horrible with names. Like it takes me a while to like latch on, unless there's like a specific like reason or like a reminder to remember somebody's name. Like I mean the ladies that work next door, I couldn't even I see them every day almost. I mean honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I feel horrible about it, but let's stop talking about it.
All right, well, let's do sports.
We can throw up that Lori McNeil banner for this.
Yeah.
She's Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention NCO. If you have any questions about recruiting or retention for the Army National Guard, give her a call, 541-786-1459. Her email's down there too. Sports this week. Today at 4 p.m. Central, so 2 p.m. our time, is the NAIA Softball National Selection Show. EOU softball went down to Klamath Falls for the Cascade Collegiate Conference Tournament. They won the first 2 games. They knocked off defending national champion Southern Oregon. And then on day 2, unfortunately, they lost to number 4 ranked OIT, and then they turned around in the snow and lost to 7th ranked C of I.
Wow.
But EOU sits at 41 wins, which ties the school record, and they should get an auto bid. I mean, they should get a bid. And so we should be seeing this team in the national tournament. LHS softball, baseball, Friday. Before the game on Friday, I think they're saying 140, 150-ish down at the field. It's senior day, senior appreciation day for baseball. And then in between the 2 games, senior appreciation day for softball. I am going to stream baseball and then softball. I'm going to stream 1 game of each on Friday. Let's see here. Track and field for EOU and our own Bennett, our editor here. They have the Cascade Collegiate Conference championships this weekend, and Bennett will be running the steeplechase, and he's going to look to try to break 10 minutes for the first time, PR. And then we have national champion in the heptathlon, TJ Davis, who's already qualified for nationals by winning the decathlon. They do the multis a couple weeks before everything else. He's gonna compete in like 7 different events at the CCC championship. He won't compete in those at nationals, but he's just trying to be male athlete of the meet. I mean, and he will be. I mean, he'll win. He'll probably win. He'll at least win the 400-meter hurdles. He's really good at that. He'll be first or second in the 110 hurdles. He'll be right up there in the high jump, right up there in the long jump. I mean, he's just an all-around stud of an athlete. It's crazy how good he is. And the cool thing is when you become a national champion at the NAIA level, the way they kind of try to get you to stay is the next year your school is paid for, right? Everything, like all of your schooling. So that way kids, they try to keep kids in the NAIA, because a lot of times, when you win a national championship at the NAIA level, though, the NCAA, D2, D1 levels will come looking for you.
Huh.
And that's kind of how you keep the national champions around, is the NAIA pays for their school. It's kind of cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's it. Basically for sports. Boom.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, hey, so we have guest this morning. Commissioner Paul Anderes is with us. I'm just going to pull him in here real quick. And Paul, thanks for being here this morning. You're here today as a candidate, yes, not as your normal monthly talk as a commissioner. And so, it seems like you guys are kind of on the, I mean, how much longer is there? A week out? How before everybody is? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
A week from today, the 17th. Wow. Please, if I can encourage people to vote before 8 o'clock. That's when the deadline is, and since the last time I saw you at the EOU debates, it's been kind of a busy few days, but very, very productive.
Well, good.
Yeah. We were talking before, Paul, about that halibut on your Facebook page, man. That had me drooling, man.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, actually Friday night after the debate, I went to the Arts East opening for Trevor and Jen Durr. If you get a chance, really talented local artist. You can see their work there. Then Saturday, like Doddsy said, we went to North Powder. First time I've ever done it. For the halibut feed, and it was incredible. Later that evening, that night went out to the Elgin Stampede for their steak feed. Lions Club Sunday morning, Mother's Day brunch with my wife, which was nice, and I got to visit with my mother as well. And then I went out to the Elgin Museum opening, and then the Union County Museum opening out there in Union. Both of them I would highly recommend. The Elgin, they've got a bottle collection. Gentlemen, it can tell you so much about local history based on just the bottles that he's collected and has on display there. Some really nice displays in Union as well. That evening, we took a little bit of break from campaigning and went to Hot Lake and watched a movie out there. And yesterday evening, I was able to have dinner with Representative Owens, who represents the district just to the south of us, state representative, and Senator Lynn Finley, who is also, he's from Vail, but covers 45% of Oregon in his district.
Wow.
And it was nice. As a coincidence, Kevin Loveland and Representative Owens graduated from the same high school, and Kevin was able to join us for dinner. It was kind of fun to listen to those two reminisce. Yeah, busy, but I like it.
Hey, look at this. This is the piece of halibut you got.
Wow.
Look at that piece of halibut. Like, that's like 3 meals worth of halibut right there.
That looks fantastic.
It was. Yep.
I've had the halibut from North Powder. Like, you can buy it afterwards frozen, and I've had it before, and it's phenomenal.
That's a fundraiser they do, Paul?
Yes, for the athletics.
Oh, cool.
Yep. It was, and like I say, it was a meal and a half, and sometimes when they cook for large groups, it doesn't turn out well. Not the case here. It was probably as good a piece of fish as I've had in a very long time.
Oh, I love halibut too, man. Wow.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that and a bunch of tartar sauce. I like that with every bite, man.
You like tartar sauce on fish that's not fried?
Oh, it's not fried? I couldn't tell.
No, it's just baked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
just
can't
baked
tell.
Fish.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Tartar sauce is good on fried fish, but that kind of fish right there, you need butter on that.
That's true. I agree. Butter and some lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yum.
Well, cool. Well, what else is up, Paul?
Coming up on budget season. Folks at the county have been working on that quite a little bit recently. Even with the infusion of federal money, things are going to be a little bit tight because we have a COLA, cost of living increase for a lot of the folks that work for the county. So that's going to put some pressure on it that I haven't experienced in the last 4 years. And it hasn't gotten a ton of publicity, but we also, a couple weeks ago, passed the planned spending for the ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act. And for Union County, it's about 5.2 million. And the way I looked at it was really, how do we reinvest in Union County? We put some money into Buffalo Peak for some of the projects that Dana had requested. We put in right at $300,000 into Mount Emily Recreation Area as an investment there. Road Department and Airport both got pretty good chunks for upgrading equipment. And then the other part of it, especially for the airport, would be the federal match that we have to provide when we do get that additional federal funding from the FAA. Sheriff's Department, we've got multiple cars to replace part of that fleet. That's those ladies and gentlemen are kind of tough on those vehicles, and they don't last like a family car, but we want to make sure they're well equipped for that. Fair amount of it too went into really some deferred maintenance that we haven't done to the buildings that the county owns, whether it be the Joseph building or the Joseph Annex. And I think it's fairly common that the first thing that usually gets trimmed in budget is that maintenance and upkeep on things. And we're fortunate to be in a place where we can kind of bring those back, bring them back up to snuff and make sure that they last that much longer. So that's a lot of what we've been working on. Yesterday, I spent quite a bit of time writing letters of support for the Rural Engagement and Vitality Center at Eastern Oregon University. They're putting in for a state program, wrote a letter for that. And then Eastern Oregon Livestock Show is applying for a T-Mobile hometown grant. And I wrote a letter of support for that as well. So no Tuesdays are ever the same in this job. And I like that. Yeah, I do.
How'd you feel about the debate the other night?
I thought it went well. And thank you for pushing that out to folks on your network. I think that it answered some questions for some people and gave both of us an opportunity to get some information about ourselves out there. And I really want to express my appreciation to the EOU Debate Club. They did a really nice job and very professional. It was nice to be able to interact with, especially those students.
Yeah.
My favorite part was the bouncers. They had actual.
Oh, right.
And they had sunglasses on. And I looked when they came in. I was like, "You don't look much like a bouncer." He was only about 5'6".
And I was able to visit with them before it got started, and they were pretty serious about their role that they were fulfilling there. One of them actually had a earbud in, and I commented on that, and he just laughed and he said, "Yeah, that's part of the uniform." So yeah,
that's
that was
funny. I don't think I noticed that. They had guys that were like, if things got out of hand, they were going to handle it.
Well,
yeah.
Sure.
All dressed in black and sunglasses, and,
like Secret Service guys.
Yeah,
no,
and awfully good representation from the university. President Ensko was there, Tim Seidel was there, which I thought was really nice because this was an inaugural for not only the club but for that particular activity there. So I thought it turned out well. To answer your question.
Yeah. It really did. there's like I was actually happily surprised at how well everything looked. Like it was cool. I was impressed. And then give props to Gib too. Gib, man, that guy, he works extra hours, and he helped us, and he helped get everything set up, audio visual wise, and he's one of a kind for sure.
And he told me after it was over that he'd been there for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And it does a really nice job.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I keep trying to hire him. Like, hey, you should come to work for me, but there's no way we can match his PERS. Probably can't match his salary, but
not even close.
But he is. I tell you, I worked when I was young. After I graduated from college, I worked in the AV department at Northwest Nazarene University, and working AV is a thankless job. I'm telling you. I mean, when things work, you don't hear a thing. When things don't work, you hear everything. I mean, it's just So I
kind of like being a county commissioner.
A little bit.
Kind of. Yeah. So it's I can just tell you that it's thankless a lot of times, and he does really. I mean, he's one of the few guys that I can commiserate with on a technical basis, just because we have a lot of common areas of knowledge, and he's just a very sharp individual and a great heart. And he actually, when we do the East-West Shrine game, he directs that for us. He does the directing. So it's
he works for us one day a year.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, he's invaluable that one day. I mean, he's when we were setting up last year, he's just a problem solver. I mean, so he was out there working on stuff then that I didn't even know it was an issue. It was just a really godsend for us. So anyhow.
Don't tell him that we pumped him up though.
Yeah.
He already has his head already is big. I mean, like up here.
Yeah, but it's an Australian head. Oh, well, Paul, man, we really appreciate you coming on, and just give us one last plug on
that would be again, encourage people to vote by 8:00 next Tuesday, the 17th, 8:00 p.m. A little bit of a change in voting from past years. They are postage paid. You don't have to even buy a stamp anymore. Or you can use any of the drop boxes around Union County that night we've got folks that go out there in teams so that there's no manipulation. And that was one point hopefully I made last Friday night at the debate is Robin Church runs a flawless election in Union County. I have no questions about it. So it's and she does she and her staff do such a great job.
We were just talking about her the other day because I'll be up there for when the results are announced, and she's so good, and she's so good on camera too. Like you think she doesn't spend a lot of time on camera, right? But every time we put that lady on camera, she's just spot on. I mean,
yep.
She is, and she's bright and fun, and has a sense of humor.
Yes.
But all business, all at the same time. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Somebody in her job could be crusty too, and she's not. Yeah. She's not at all. Yeah. Like, it's just she's wonderful. I like that.
By 8:00 next Wednesday, or excuse me, next Tuesday night, 8:00 by next Tuesday night, please vote.
Well, and I think, and hasn't there been a change too, to where if somebody is mailing it in, it has to be postmarked by that day? It seems like that. Yes.
Yes.
So
postmarked. So I mean, in tight races, it has the potential to delay it a little bit, and I can't remember the exact date that they have to let them come in and still count them. So and again, everybody should have an opportunity to vote, and I hope people choose to exercise that.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, Paul, thanks so much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Always a pleasure to have you. Yeah, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, BC, I got something that I want to. I found this on Facebook, and it's a little bit inappropriate, but I don't care. It's not like real inappropriate.
Okay.
But so this is it's a little bit long, but just listen. The geography of a woman as she ages. Between 18 and 22, a woman is like Africa, half discovered, half wild, fertile, and naturally beautiful. Between 23 and 30, a woman is like Europe, well developed and open to trade, especially for something or someone of real value. Between 31 and 35, a woman is like Spain, very hot, relaxed, and convinced of her own beauty. Between 36 and 40, a woman is like Greece, gently aging, but still a warm and desirable place to visit. Between 41 and 50, a woman is like Great Britain, with a glorious and all-conquering past. Between 51 and 60, a woman is like Israel, has been through war, doesn't make the same mistakes twice, and takes care of business. Between 61 and 70, a woman is like Canada, self-preserving but open to meeting new people. After 70, she becomes Tibet, wildly beautiful with a mysterious past and the wisdom of the ages, an adventurous spirit and thirst for spiritual knowledge. The geography of a man. Between 1 and 100, a man is like North Korea and Russia, ruled by a pair of nuts. I saw that on social media. I could not. I had to. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Good morning, TJ.
Yeah, that's funny. I can think of a similar joke that is like that, where it seems disparaging to the woman, kind of, but then the punchline about the guy is like,
that wasn't disparaging at all to the woman.
No, I know, but I mean, there's an old joke where a guy goes to God and says, why is a woman, why is she pretty, and goes all this, well, why is she so dumb at times, and God says, so that she'll love men, so she'll like you. So anyhow.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that one. I saw that on somebody's Facebook and I was like, oh, I have to share this. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. Well, what do we have? We got so that election that's coming up. What else are we voting on there? We're voting on the school bond. We're voting on, is that the primary too?
So
for governor and all that.
So we're voting locally on the school bond. That's the big issue. And then this commissioner race is the big local race. And then that's the primary for all of the state seats that have a herd of one party or the other. And so like, for instance, in the governor's race, I think there's, 15 Republican candidates and like 3 Democratic candidates. And then, so the winner, the highest voting Republican and the highest voting Democrat are going to be the ones that will be voted on in November. So,
okay.
So it's like the semifinals. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So, and it's going to be, the governor's race is interesting. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes. There's a lot of, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of, especially out of the Republicans. I mean, there are so many, I personally think that Bud Pierce is going to win. I think it's going to be Bud Pierce and Tina who is going to be against each other in November. That's my prediction.
Who's
I have
Tina?
No idea.
Is that the Democrat?
Tina is the Tima Kotek, I think is her name. And she's, she was the state Democratic House lead. I forget what that. And so she resigned as that position and then ran for it. So yeah, I think that she really is kind of the leading contender on the Democratic side, and Bud Pierce, I think, is the leading on the Republican side. That's my guess, but I don't know.
I don't pay much attention, to be honest. I mean, the attention I pay is the stuff that comes through here. That's about it.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what's interesting. So I had a interesting conversation followed up with Matt Scarfo, because Matt is running unopposed on the ballot, and so, and you guys, when I was in Vegas, you and Wade had a conversation with Matt, and you were talking about, you say, no, everybody's got to vote. And, you know, I mean, he was saying, like, because I think you said, well, you're going to win anyhow. And he said, well, yeah, but I still want everybody to vote, you know? And so then when I was filling out my ballot, I mean, I like Matt and I was going to vote for him anyhow. And so, but I normally often will leave, if there's only one person in the box, only one person running, oftentimes I won't even vote, you know, because it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then I told Matt, I sent him a text message and said, hey, I filled in the box just for you. I darkened in the box and voted just for you, you know? And so then he followed up with a phone call. It's like, why is it that people don't do that? Why do people have that tendency? And so we talked about it.
You should have wrote in bootlicker and sent him a picture of that.
Well, and that's what he was saying. He said, if everybody assumes that somebody else is going to do the vote, then what happens if Mickey Mouse wins? You know?
Yeah. If somebody writes in the same person,
right,
25 times and
right,
nobody, yeah, that could be bad.
So, anyhow, it was just kind of and I think his point is that, hey, even when there's no contender, even when there's a race where it's only one person, it still matters that you vote. So anyhow, that was kind of his thing. So
are we going short today? Are we ready to cruise out of here?
Sure.
All right. On this day in 1797, May 10th, 1797, the first U.S. Navy ship, the United States, is launched. On this day in 1877, U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes has the first White House telephone installed in the telegraph room. 1877. 1969, U.S. troops begin attack on Hill 937, Hamburger Hill in Vietnam.
Wow.
1969 on this day. And then we jump all the way to 2021, which I don't know a lot about this. I hadn't heard of it, but NBC says it will not televise the 2022 Golden Globes because of criticism of its lack of diversity. So that was the first time in a long time that NBC didn't televise the Golden Globes, which is weird. The number one song on this day, I don't know this song, but it's this was 20 years ago, 2002, Michelle Branch, All You Wanted. The number one song on this day. And then the quote of the day is Sigmund Freud. One day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. One day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Sigmund Freud.
Cool.
Boom. That's all we got.
Well, good stuff.
See you on Thursday. Yeah. What do we got going this week? So
on Thursday, Joe Hathaway from OTEC, he'll be with us for a little bit. The OTEC annual meeting is happening. We'll be streaming that on, I think, Saturday, the 21st is that day. On Friday at 1:00, there is a public ceremony at the enforcement office in La Grande. That's not what they call it, but anyhow, it's the building that the police and the sheriff share, and it will be honoring those officers that have died in the line of duty in the last 100 years. There's 4 of them, and so that ceremony is on Friday at 1:00. We'll be streaming that also. So,
and Cody Bowen, the sheriff, will not be there.
Right.
Because it's senior day for softball and baseball, which starts at 2, and we'll be streaming that as well. Yep. I might try to stream the senior ceremonies. I don't know if I'll be able to get the camera switched over to the softball field in time, but I'll try to get the senior ceremonies for the baseball team, and I'm going to be there taking pictures and just, I might chime in between games, or we'll just see how things go. I've never moved the camera in between games, so and who people watch those games, there isn't any audio because they get pissed too. They I don't understand that. Like, this is free.
You're getting it for free. I know.
And we can't have the audio because we can't have another strike.
Yeah, no, we have. What people don't understand, it's just the wildest thing is there's these computers or robots that just listen for people like us to play copyrighted music.
Yeah.
And like the song, any commercial song that you hear on the radio, if we played that, we would get we get a little email that said, "Oh, you did
You're
wrong."
bad.
Yeah. Now on Facebook, it's a little more casual because what they do is they just mute the track. But there are other agencies, Vimeo, that they take it very seriously. YouTube takes it very seriously if you do it over and over and over again. So
absolutely.
Anyhow.
And the reason why, let me explain the reason why. The baseball team and the softball team, they're in between innings, and their walk-up music is all copyrighted music. So there's no way it's possible to have the audio, because then I would have to sit there and mute it every time somebody walks up to the plate, and every time in between every inning. And that's not feasible when it's one person and I'm taking pictures and I'm, out there just trying to have an EOA live presence at sports. There's no way that's possible. So, I mean, and when you put a sad face on our stuff, it does affect us. I mean, and you're getting this for free. So remember that. It's not like the school isn't paying us. Nobody's paying us for these games.
Yeah. It's funny to me. I mean, there were some comments back and forth on the debate the other night. And they were making some comments about our coverage, some swipes. And it was like, how much did you pay for this? I mean, for crying out loud, don't watch our stuff. You don't. Yeah, we're not offended.
Bye, Felicia.
So, all righty. Well, you get a little rant there at the end for no cost whatsoever.
I've been thinking about that rant for a few days because I saw that people were like sad facing it, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, really, and it's like this was free, and you're gonna sad face it because you didn't have audio, at least you got to see it.
You know what you need to do is when you make a description beforehand of that event, just say
muted.
No audio. Yeah. So people just kind of know up front. So, all righty. Hey, thanks you guys for being here. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.